Hello everybody. When this video drops, it's officially the day after Father's Day, and I am officially on summer vacation from my normal college schedule, leaving only you and me working on this course. Before we get to that though, I have some things that are very important to speak with you about. So listen up. I wanted to revisit the college-wide late policy some of you are either not aware of, not happy with, or simply ignoring altogether. The English departments of the 4 campuses of Delaware Technical Community Colleges set forth a cohesive late policy which all instructors must follow. For the smaller assignments, also known as the formative assessments, you will have up to 48 hours to turn it in for a late penalty of a 10% hit to your final grade for that assignment. And that's 10% of the total points, not 10% of what you earned. For the larger assignments, also known as the summative assessments, you have up to 1 week to turn it in for a late penalty of a 15% hit to your final grade for that assignment. And again, that's 15% of the total points, not 15% of what you earned. Since I was very clear about this in the very first video that you should have watched for this course, I just wanted to remind you that this isn't a new policy. Sorry to bring you down so early in the video, but it needed to be said. Equally, the announcements and the video that I make each week, this like here, are not just to make my bosses think I'm working. These are there to make sure that you know what's going on. I will do my best to ensure that everything you need is available for you. So it's a little frustrating when I receive assignments that obviously were done without ever consulting the samples, the videos, the announcements, or anything else I provided. This is frustrating for me, but it makes your grade suffer. So please, take 20 minutes on Mondays and just review the video, okay? Take 5 minutes and review the announcement. It will only help you. Once again, here is the announcement you're going to see this week. I have my normal blurbs up front, what you did last week, what you're going to do this week. Here's where the video will be once I finish recording it, and the chapter listings, which I hope you can click through and find exactly what you need. Again, this is last week's video because I can't put this week's video in this video because it is this week's video. It will be a really weird time craziness. Anyway, preview a few things. Make sure that you are on top of the directions and sample for Unit 2 because that's due this week. If you need to go through CSET again, here is that. Here is your next big paper that's going to be due in week 10, the assignment here. And I've also attached the argumentative directions and sample to this. You've got 4 things you need to read. We'll go over that. There are 2 videos. And the 2 assignments that are due will be the research essay, Unit 2, which again, the sample, and it's attached right here. And the building research questions and reasons, which is a very small assignment, okay? So, going back to the main page, scrolling down and clicking on the View the Course Schedule, click on that, and scroll all the way down here to week 6. Here we go. As you can see, the college will be closed on June 19th for Juneteenth, so please do not expect to hear from anybody that day. It's a holiday. So, we've got all of that, and well, let's just start with what is an argumentative research paper, because I have a feeling this video is not going to be short. Okay, so what is an argumentative research paper? Hey, wow, look at that. Okay, this is the first document which I want to walk through with you, and it shows you, well, what an argumentative research paper is. Now, this is your biggest assignment, folks. It's going to be by far worth the most points of anything this semester, and the first 2 papers built towards this. It's not due until week 10. This is only week 6, but it's good to start thinking about it now. Once again, the details you need kind of start up here and they go down here. This pretty picture, it doesn't do anything. Just skip it. You've got your samples here, which I can show you something in a bit that's going to be much better. But the requirements that you want to take a look at are right here. It'll show you exactly how long it's got to be, how it's got to be formatted, what each section does. And these are great. They'll help you. No problem. But I have something better for you. But, you know what? Let's just stop talking about it and go see it. This is what the directions and sample for Unit 3 looks like. They give you the overview, the objectives, not objections. Your requirements. It's got to be 7 to 8 pages. That's the biggest change. Everything else has been much less than that. You have to find 3 additional sources. Now, if you think of it, Unit 1 had 2 sources. Unit 2 has 2 sources. Unit 3 will have 3 sources. So finally, for your final paper, you need not just 6 authoritative sources, as it says in the overview, but a total of 7 for a minimum required source count, okay? Everything's got to be APA formatted, minimum requirements for source integration, which again is CSET. Make sure that you follow the directions I'm giving you and the sample I'm giving you. Use only the third person point of view. He, she, it, they, them. Avoid first person. No I, me, my, our, we, us. And most definitely no second person. You, your, okay? But you can go through this, and I'll go through it again later on. Not today. But you've got your introduction. It's going to be really quick. Single paragraph. Your background is going to be a minimum of 1 paragraph. That's where you explain the concepts. Your argument is going to be 3 reasons, all using CSET, okay? So you'll have at least 3 reasons, which might be 4, 5, 6, 12 paragraphs. It all depends on how much you want to go into detail. But a minimum of 3 well-written paragraphs there. Your counter-argument and rebuttal will be split up. A minimum of 2 paragraphs, 1 for counter-argument, 1 for rebuttal. But I've seen a lot of very good papers with 2 counter-argument paragraphs and 2 rebuttal paragraphs. That's fine. Your conclusion will be a single paragraph, okay? So the sample looks just like this. As long as you follow this, here's what the APA title page will look like, just like normal. And then down here we have our section headers, our introduction, our background section. Look, 2 paragraphs to the background section. We have our claim 1, and then telling what the claim is. Then we have our single paragraph. Our claim 2, tell me what the claim is. We have our single paragraph. Claim 3, tell me what the claim is. Single paragraph. Claim 4, what? I thought there was only 3 claims. Well, guess what? This sample tells you that you can do more than that. Claim 4 actually has a single paragraph, and it tells us what the claim is. And then down here in the counter-argument, yes, we have 2 counter-argument paragraphs and 2 rebuttal paragraphs. And then we have our conclusion, okay? And then down here at the final page, we have our references, I think, which stretches to a 2nd page. And there we go. Sounds good? Perfect. So once again, you can find all this material here on this page. I would skip this together. It doesn't really do anything. I think they just thought it was cute. Going through here will help you. You can download a copy of their sample paper, or you can look at the one I gave you. You can look at the requirements. All there for you to get ready for it, okay? But after seeing your future, well, we can go back and click on classical argument, which takes us to this page. Now this page here, it's well, terrible. They say, hey, we're going to tell you what a classical argument is, and here's 2 videos you can watch. I mean, there's really nothing there, okay? These videos are there, and they can help you if you want to watch them. And that's fine, no problem. But I want to try to help you kind of explain what these videos really are. An argument is not just 2 or more people yelling at each other. An argument is multiple perspectives on a single topic. It is also required reading to have support for each side, or else we're looking at a simple assertion, which becomes more the understanding the argument you see in front of you here. I think that's what, like West Coast Choppers or Orange County Choppers or whatever the hell that show was. But anyway, it becomes more the understanding of this argument that many of you have. I'm right, you're wrong. No, I'm right, you're wrong. No. Then there's finger pointing and yelling and spitting and screaming and pushing and shoving and punching. That's what most people picture. But the argument itself features a few key elements that you need to know. An argument always begins with a thesis, the statement that can be proven true or false. Once the thesis is stated, then the person stating the thesis has to prove that thesis. It's not just a matter of saying, this is what I believe, so disprove me. Because that's actually a logical fallacy known as burden of proof. Remember all those movies and TV shows that you've watched where scenes took place in the courtroom? The prosecution has proven their point. They cannot just state the idea and hope everyone else does the work. Same thing here. Once you state your thesis, you provide solid evidence to break down that thesis into smaller claims that you can now use to prove the entire idea. You'll need at least 3 smaller claims to show how your side of the argument is the stronger side. Once you develop your side of that argument, you must be open to the prospect that the opponent, or the other side of the argument, if you don't want to view this as an adversarial thing, has at least 1 or 2 good points of their own. So the counter-argument will be their opportunity to illustrate the opposing side of your thesis. Since you will not be team writing this paper, you will have to do both your argument and the counter-argument, which means you must be fair and complete with the opposing side. Additionally, you have to support that opposing side, which means showing how, in some cases, your side might actually be a bit weak. Once you go through the counter-argument, then you have to provide the rebuttal. This is where you can show your reader how the counter-argument, while possibly having a couple of good points, is nowhere strong enough to overwhelm the original argument. If it did, then you probably want to rethink your original approach. Overall, the basics of the argument are pretty similar all throughout the world, and even throughout the last few, millennia. We really haven't thought about changing how arguments are done because it's worked so well since a few hundred years BCE when it was formalized. So, there you go. The last thing we want to talk about is the research questions and search terms. There we go. It's not terrible. I'm not madly in love with it, but I feel that it at least is trying to be an academic source of information. Actually, I'm skipping over this, aren't I? So let's just do this. You've got this idea. It's okay. Research questions and keywords. They kind of changed up the order on me here. So it shows you an easy step to move in from your research questions to your claims, and they can prove your argument. It's not simply 1 or 2 words. There's a few things. If you have a question, why should violence against animals be illegal? You shouldn't just ask that question. You should say, animal cruelty should be punished. Now we're coming down on one side or the other. Okay? What? We're talking reporters' questions, right? Who, what, where, when, why, and how? What legal actions can be taken? Well, this is a closed question. They can show us what those legal answers are, but there are various legal actions that show us, such as, and then explain it. How can violence towards animals be stopped? Well, there's a lot of things, but now we give our statement here to show that thesis, okay? You can use Google to generate the search terms if you'd like. You can go in here and look at EBSCOhost or SIRS. That will work very well as well, okay? Going back, now we have the qualities of a good research question, which is this. That's what we were talking about. This is the one that I'm not madly in love with, but it's okay. They put a little bit of effort into it, which I'm okay with. Anyway, you can see here how a good research question should have at least 3 main principles. It must be answered objectively through solid and academic research. That means it's not purely opinion-based, and it's not something that can be, air quotes, proven, air quotes, by religious doctrine. Don't get me wrong. I'm not slagging off on your religion. But remember that not everyone agrees with you. It doesn't matter if you're Catholic, Protestant, Jewish, Muslim, Satanist, Hindu, Scientologist, or even atheist. There are many different flavors of belief, and even Christianity is splintered among 45,000 denominations worldwide, 200 in the United States alone. That means that these people all follow the teachings of Jesus Christ, but they have no idea how to get everybody else to agree with the way they do it. Okay, that's the problem here. So, to continue, your question has to be answered by information that currently exists. Ooh, look at that. You can't say, well, someday we'll have the answer. That's great. Come back to it then. Ask it again. Now, stick with what you know. Finally, you shouldn't try to argue something that has already been proven. Okay? Earth isn't flat. It's an oblate spheroid. I know it's round. Now it's an oblate spheroid. It kind of pooches out at the top and the bottom. Anyway, humans, despite the lovely rhyme about 1492 and the ocean blue, have known that the shape of the Earth was this for about 2,500 years now. You cannot argue that because you look like a moron. Same thing with vaccines cause autism. No, they damn well don't. This has been proven by every reputable scientist in the world. So basically, you need to argue what needs to be argued. Follow these 3 ideas, and you should be well on your way to Happy Town. Okay, that was a lot. I knew this video would be long. 16 minutes right now. Sorry. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we have 2 assignments, and here they are. The assignments are for the Unit 2 paper, and the building research questions for the Unit 3 essay. Now, clicking on this takes us right over here to the informative research essay assignment. And once again, you can go to the announcement, which has a sample of this, which I highly recommend. So you can follow through with this. And remember, it's 4 to 6 pages double-spaced. Does not include the title page or references page. Make sure you go through all of this. Third person. Do not use second person. Okay? Only use first person in the exploratory synthesis section. So once you do that, there we go. Once you do that, you can attach it to the assignment, and you're done. After that, then we have the Unit 3 building argumentative research questions. What you do here is, here's a sample they want, but you know what? Mine's a little bit different. So if you click on either this link or this link, the one that says instructor provided template, you'll get this. Just fill out your general topic again, your thesis question again, and then give me some research questions. What are 4 research questions that you ask? Okay, I want 4 of them, not 3, not 2, not 1, 4 of them. Make them solid research questions. Avoid questions which will generate brief answers that will not stimulate the conversation. Okay, so make sure you have all of these set. And then, tell me what your tentative position is. What is the answer to your thesis question? Tentative position should be your direction of the argument. And then, why do you believe your position is strong? I want 4 reasons. I believe it's strong because the statistics are reputable and up to date, showing a lot of well done research. Something, okay? Give me 4 good reasons, not just because I like it, okay? And then finally, who is your audience? How do you believe most of your audience will feel about your topic? Do they like it, dislike it? Do they know anything about it? Are they going to be in agreement with you? Okay. What do you believe people will think about? What do you believe most people? So here we have your specific audience, your class, and your teacher. Most people, which would be society. What knowledge do you believe your audience possesses? So what do you think people know right off the bat about your topic? And what knowledge do you believe people need to find out about your topic in order to understand it a bit better? It's not going to take you very long, probably a half hour total for this, okay? So, get her done. And that's the video, folks. Almost 4 full pages of script, and I think we're going to finish under 20 minutes. I'm pretty good with that. Now, I have not started drinking yet, but thanks for thinking of me. As for you and your Unit 2 paper, get on it. Get it done. Once you're done, then you can open a nice cold lemonade, because I don't know if you're 21 yet. You know, put a dip in the pool. That's great. Have a great week. Take your time. Enjoy yourselves. Okay? See ya.